doesn't make sense to take on this identity of I am a medical expert and I say no to HRT. And I will always say no, even if it's the right thing to do. These paradigm shifts, HRT in medicine, like wellness medicine, there are these big things that are finally starting to come to light more and more and more. And so I don't want you guys to feel afraid of HRT. I think that it doesn't make sense to take on this identity of I am a medical expert and I say no to HRT. And I will always say no, even if it's the right thing to do, because I don't want to be wrong or I don't want to feel stupid. My patients are really not interested in that. I can tell you that right now. I have been wrong many, many, many times, and I will continue to be wrong about things. We're just human beings. We don't own these ideas. I don't own HRT or TRT. Okay. If something comes out 10 years from now that's way better, I hope I can be the person who says, hey guys, I don't even think you're saying you're wrong is necessary. I think it's just, hey, you know what? This idea is better and I'm pivoting and I want you to pivot with me because I want to make your lives better. That's it. Okay. Like just go with what makes the most sense for your people and brings the most value. And so anyways, what I'm getting at here is I think there are a lot of things in our lives right now. I think AI and what's going to happen with that and, Bitcoin and the dollar and like, are things okay there? And, I think these paradigm shifts, HRT in medicine, like wellness medicine and sick care medicine, right? There are these big things that are finally starting to come to light more and more and more. And it's starting to become more and more obvious that something is wrong. Something's really wrong with this, even though we've been told it's been fine for a long time. And don't worry about it. Something's wrong. And these things that are coming about, I don't think they're the devil necessarily. I don't think they're the scourge of humanity. Just like I don't think the internet necessarily was. I think it's brought about a lot of really amazing things. The ability for me to just talk to you right now is and thanks to all of that, right? And I love that because I love connecting with you. And that brings me a lot of meaning and joy. And I hope it does to you too. So I think going in with fear or discomfort or pushing and projecting that stuff on other people is not the right approach. I'm not saying you have to feel comfortable or like know everything about Bitcoin or HRT or any of these things for that matter. I'm more interested in, hey, can I expose you to something that's a little different? And I think it's gaining some traction. And I think maybe you should look into that. Just like HRT. Because again, I was talking about that a long time ago too. And I got a lot of flack for it. And then after COVID, it kind of shifted in a beautiful way, in a way that I could have never expected or anticipated. Functional medicine at large did. And so I think we're going to see things like that occur. And I just want you to be, I think the term open-minded gets tossed around a lot these days. And I don't know it carries as much weight as it should. And I'm not even sure it's the right word, but I think it makes the most sense. Like, be open-minded to these things. It doesn't mean you have to go and marry it. Doesn't mean you have to pledge your allegiance to it or literally drop every dollar into it. But it might mean that you should expose yourself to that new idea. And maybe it's an idea worth really listening to and looking into. And what do other people have to say about that? And just trusting ourselves, like, what does that feel like inside my heart and soul right now? Like, do I feel like God saying, hey, this is maybe a really good idea? Or do I feel like the total opposite? I think there's a lot to that. But I'll tell you, again, I've had guttural reactions to things in the past that I now would say, oh my gosh, I was just way off on that. Like, I'm so thankful that thing became a thing and didn't go away. And I'm so thankful that I've come around to looking at it in a very positive light. To be honest, sparkling water, like San Pellegrino, didn't really love it when I first tried it. I freaking love it now, right? I think it's awesome. And it can be simple like that, right? try something new and see if it fits. And, does it make sense to your life? And is this helpful for you and your people and your loved ones? And honestly, I think Bitcoin is one of those things that's like, you know what? This is really interesting. It just reminds me a lot of HRT. And maybe it falls flat on its face. I don't know. I'm not advising you to dump all your money into it at all, by the way. I certainly haven't done that with mine. But it is something that I'm like, whenever I hear that counter argument or narrative or whatever we want to call it, whenever I sense this paradigm shift into this new era, this new age, like the internet, and I was a little too young to really experience that, right, as an adult. But man, there was a lot of powerful things that happened with that. And I think this new paradigm we're moving into is just as powerful and probably even more exciting. And so I don't want you guys to feel afraid of HRT. I really don't. I want you to feel curious about it. For those of you who are like, I haven't touched it yet. I still don't know, Nico. I haven't even thought about purchasing the course. I'm just listening to you on these podcasts, and maybe I'm trying to drum up the courage or ask some people about it. That's amazing. Don't feel bad about that. Please don't feel bad about that. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're here. I really am. And I hope maybe some of these comparisons are even helpful, because at the end of the day, selfishly, of course, I'm I really want you to get in on this. I really want you to get in on this because I think you're going to love it. I think it's going to make such a big difference in your life. And I think you'll look back and think, God, I wish I would have done that 10 years ago, because I know I felt that way. I really did. And so again, I can appreciate when I probably come off as obviously I'm very biased. I have an HRT course and I love HRT. I'm obsessed about it. But I love sharing that with other people because I want them to want that too, because I've seen the power and the value of it play out in patients' lives, change their whole, physicality and spirituality and emotional relationships that they have with their spouses and children and friends. It's so powerful. It's one of those things. It's like the internet. I want everybody to have access to this stuff. It's amazing. It's going to open your world up. It's going to allow you to store and maintain energy more simply and readily. And that's what I talk about in the course. That aspect is so important. Metabolism and being pro-metabolic and being pro-energy. Because everything in our lives kind of revolve around that, right? Energy is the currency of life. And money is literally a currency. So they have that relationship. I think that energy inside our bodies is the currency of our human organism, clearly, because we're literally living things. And I think if we can maintain and take care of that, I think life is much more rich and beautiful on the other end. Thank you so much for checking out this clip and tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you really liked it, I definitely recommend that you click here to watch the whole entire video where I go into much more detail. Thank you again for joining, and I'll see you there.